Hello and welcome back to Game Vitamins. My name is Nick, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the state of the TCG market, most specifically focusing on Magic the Gathering, and just how crazy it has gotten for anyone who's trying to maybe start a business around the hobby or even just collect it or play it. So if you're new here, my channel is all about building a Magic the Gathering business from the ground up. So if you haven't seen anything and that might interest you, feel free to subscribe, follow along, because there is a lot to cover. And I've covered a lot in the realm of buying and reselling Magic cards specifically, but the theories do apply to other TCGs as well. So if you enjoy it, follow along. But anyway, today's video is focusing more on a general discussion around opportunities within the TCG market, again, specifically Magic, where prices of different boxes have gone, as well as discussions on the expected values across collector boosters, set, play, draft boosters, and kind of how I believe that is affecting the overall market price of pretty much everything right now. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. This isn't going to be a super data-heavy video. I won't be breaking out the laptop and showing you a ton of spreadsheets, but we'll just be talking about it a little bit, discussing where I bought things at, where they stand now, and again, sort of my theory for why opportunities have tightened up, and more importantly, how we can still go about finding opportunities in a market that seems like it's just getting kind of out of hand. So anyway, let's get right into it. It is certainly no new observation that I'm making here that the TCG and Magic market has gotten a little out of hand. And to say it's a bull market is almost an understatement. It feels like a sense of euphoria. And while I have not been in the higher level reselling game for that long, I do believe that I have already seen a crazy change of pace, because I would be able to go out and buy different boxes that had a decent spread between sale price and the expected value, turn over those singles, and look at a pretty good profit. But for example, today I was just checking out Phyrexia All Will Be One. I bought some set boosters not that long ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, for $105 a box, and now I'm seeing them at $150 or $160. And I didn't really buy them with the intention to resell sealed, because I'm trying to grow my singles inventory and sort of my presence on TCGPlayer and within the singles market now that I'm in direct. Again, if you haven't seen that video, that was my most recent one. But it's getting a little crazy and a little hard to find opportunity. And I'm going to talk a little bit as to why I think that's the case. And it all starts with collector boosters. So, here's a Karlov Manor collector booster, just for show. This is actually probably not the best example. Know what a good example is? 1 second. It's reaching over. Bloomborough. Bloomborough is a great example of what's going on in the market right now. So I'm going to show a little screenshot. I sent this to my patrons earlier just because I was browsing everything and I thought it was a little crazy. So a Bloomborough collector's box right now is going for nearly $300. Now, that's great. The collector market is healthy, yada, yada, yada. People might want to get their hands on it and say, okay, I'm going to leave it sealed, leave it on my shelf. This is a cool collector's piece. But the problem with a collector box, right, is that it's not necessarily a scarcity thing like some other collectibles. It's inherently based off of the value inside the box. And when you look at the EV of collector boosters, this is based off of Mox Alpha, so it might not be 100% accurate, but just to give you a general idea of iterations of opening boxes like this, it comes out to less than $200. That's kind of crazy, because the EV of the play booster for Bloomborough is actually the same, which It might change after I record this, but I'll show you the screenshot. The same price, same expected value out of a collector booster and a play booster. That's pretty crazy. Now, one other one, this Duskmorn one, there's another one behind it. This one's open because they don't reflect as much by the lights. So Duskmorn collector booster. EV is sitting around $260. Purchase price, $245. I just sold a case of these for $245 plus shipping. And that spread, after you pay shipping, $10. Duskmorn play boosters can buy them for $135. And the EV on these is almost $200. Actually, it might be over $200. So what I'm getting at here is the state, sorry if you couldn't hear me there, I'm getting at the state of the market in terms of the underlying value of products. And this is why I believe we're seeing play boosters, draft boosters, and set boosters jump at such a quick pace. And whether it's the people buying it with the intention to resell, whether it's the investors, whether it's people who want to get their hands on it to play with it before the prices just keep going up and up and up, whatever it might be, people are not finding as much potential value in buying collector boxes as they might find in buying play boosters. So that right there just goes to show essentially an efficient market, because what I was doing here, what I am doing here is buying a box of Karlov Manor for $100, EV on large scale, $200. Technically, on paper, that's doubling your money. That's before fees and shipping and all of that. A lot of videos covering that. I get it. But what I'm getting at here is that as these rise relative to the EV, the arbitrage, it's not really that. I mean, it is arbitrage technically. But those opportunities and those margins have been tightening up because opportunities are getting slimmer and slimmer. So again, people might not be running out. I mean, people still are running out and buying collector boosters. But how long can that, I won't put it back. How long can that go on? And how are people going to keep finding opportunities? So my advice to you is when you see an opportunity, you probably, not that you need to jump on it, not like, oh, it's going to go away and everything just goes up and up and up, because inevitably, if a box of whatever, gets closer to the expected value of those boxes, it does not make sense that you would go out and buy a box of Brothers War for more than the expected value of what is in the box. So there's two things that could happen. It's either the boxes, as they get closer, getting a call. Left you on a cliffhanger there. So there's two things that could happen. You either have it close, the gap closes, so margins, the spread between EV and buying a box is negligible. It is the same. That's tough because, again, why would you ever even buy a box if there's not even an opportunity to get something better? At that point, you just go out and buy every single and get the same value, and you guarantee the ones that you want. I mean, yes, buy singles if you're playing. If you're trying to make some money and find margin, maybe you do buy boxes. But that aside, the only other thing is that the card values increase relative to the box prices. So say a box of Wilds of Eldraine, which people were getting at $90 from Rudy on Alpha Investments or $100 on the general market. Actually bought a lot for $100 right before it went out of print. That was just luck on my end. Now they're $130, $140. So do the cards inside the box increase in proportion to the box value? Or do we see that the gap closes, and as cards come down, the box values come back down? So this is kind of the discussion I wanted to go over, because it's really interesting. I mean, it's changed so quickly. I mean, again, the fact that Phyrexia has gone up like 50% in a couple weeks. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, for XAL will be one. It's crazy. So this is just my analysis. It's what I'm observing in the market. I'm glad that I bought a lot of the boxes that I did when I did, because I still have a lot to go through. I still have a lot to list, and I have a good cost basis to keep replenishing my inventory. What will happen moving forward? That is the next question. How do you find an opportunity? If this channel is built on building a business around Magic the Gathering, how do we continue to build a business as margins get tighter? Now, a patron, Fernando, you're probably watching this. I hope you are. He brought up a good point to me. And I'm sorry if this is spoiling anything. I won't drop any specific sets, but you probably need to start looking for opportunities in areas that other people aren't flocking to. So first, it was collector boosters. Everyone was running after them. Everyone was buying them up, and now, boom, skyrocketed. Now we're seeing play boosters and set boosters go up to way above any place they've ever been. I mean, some of them, again, are still maintaining okay levels, like March of the Machine. Yeah, that's right down there. I still see some at good prices relative to the expected value. So do with that what you may. There's not a lot of them left, at least from what I saw, within that good price range. Oddly enough, Modern Horizons 3, a little tip, by the time you're seeing this, the ones on the internet at the price point I'm talking about, around $210 a box, will be gone because I will have bought them all. But the EV on these is like over $350. So, if you're able to get enough of them and average out to that expected value, there are still opportunities. And to get back to Fernando's point there, people are starting to look in other spaces. Now, a lot of beginners start off with commander decks. And I think commander decks have kind of been forgotten about recently. There was this big wave of the high-end commander decks. There's pretty much one in each set. But I think because we skipped over a commander deck release with foundations, people's focuses have been a little bit different. I don't know. Maybe that's the case. But I'm seeing some good deals in commander decks. I've placed some large orders on full set releases of those commander decks just to get my average prices down. But again, some will be close to break even, others much, over double what the card value to what I paid per deck. So anyway, you just need to start looking in areas that other people aren't necessarily flocking to right now. And it's always going to change. The cycle will continue to go, and eventually maybe people will be looking at the commander decks, and then for the collector boxes there'll be a glut in the market, and maybe they'll fall, or maybe there'll be a discrepancy in card values to the collector box values. Can everything just keep going up? It's like any market. It's like the craze with crypto a few years ago. Still even recently. You got to be in it for the long term, or you need to be purposefully finding spreads that actually exist before you buy the product. Because buying solely on appreciation is usually what makes people lose their shirt. You look back to 2008 with the real estate crash, same thing. People are taking out 3 mortgages to buy condos because they can just float them and they're expecting them to appreciate and then resell, and then all of a sudden you're caught holding the bag once things fall out from under you. So that's why I've always been a big proponent of finding opportunities, reselling the cards or the boxes or whatever it might be, and turning that cash over, making it working capital and looking for a return on that working capital. I'm not saying you can't buy and invest and hold. Feel free to do that. I do it as well. But what I'm focusing on here is finding an opportunity where you buy it, you turn it over, you get your profit, and you walk away. So look in those places. I'm not going to point them all out right now because I'm not 100% certain where all the opportunities are, but I'll just leave you that tidbit. maybe check out some commander decks, maybe check out some older boxes that haven't gotten that much love recently. There's still some opportunity. It's going away quick, so that's tough. But, as in any market, there will always be something. There'll be something to look for. So from here, what else do we need to cover? Honestly, there's not a whole lot more to cover in this discussion. Again, I just wanted it to be a candid talk about what I've been noticing going on, the weird price discrepancies over, again, expected value to box value. It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, in some cases, it still works, but and why the heck would you go out and buy this Bloomburrow box for $300 when the odds are you're going to open a third less of value? I think I got this thing for $200. So it's still on par, but it's the only one I have because Bloomburrow, oddly enough, the collector boxes just didn't really make a whole lot of sense. But people are going crazy for them. So let me know what your thoughts are on this down in the comments below. I'm sure everyone has their own opinions and what their angle is right now. If you want to get a little bit of insider info, not really insider info, just more, ahead of these video discussions, what I'm looking at, what I've been working on, feel free to join the Patreon. It's been awesome, really, really awesome to see everybody active in there. We have a really cool community already. So thank you guys all so much for supporting that and joining. I mean, I say it in every video, but it actually does mean, it means a lot. So thank you for that. And otherwise, I guess we'll see what comes next. So I'll probably discuss what it is that I placed some larger orders on in future videos, and we're still just gearing up, getting the inventory pumped up as much as possible, and fulfilling TCGPlayer Direct. Go check out my video on that for my first 24 hours in the program. I got over 100 sales. I have now done several hundred sales since joining it, and I have fulfilled a couple RIs already. It's awesome to see the volume increase. I'm going to be analyzing the exact fee percentages as I get more orders in. I need a larger sample size. Right now I'm floating around 36% or so. Back in other videos where I was operating on a 20% margin. So it is certainly, 20% fee basis. So it's certainly affecting my margin, but a lot more on that to come. Again, the guinea pig, learning it so you don't have to make any mistakes, ideally. Thank you all for watching, and we will catch you in the next one. Have a great day.